Hello, how's it going? How is everyone? Good? Right, we've got a bit of a joy, a bit of a splendid, trial-breaking, absolutely amazing, original hip hop album. That is Jedi Mind Trick's seminal album, The Psychosocial Chemical Biological Electromagnetic Manipulation of Human Consciousness. Although I think I missed a word and out then. Yeah, so this dropped in '97, as you can see from the Wikipedia page. Genre East Coast hip hop, hardcore hip hop, and horrorcore. Yeah, I don't know if it's a genre, but I'd put it in the esoteric, spiritual hip hop you sometimes hear, or you did hear in the noughties. So this was the first album of its kind to myself that I know of that fully embraced just it was a concept album that fully embraced, like esoteric themes, religious themes, the whole aura to it, the beats, the way everybody's rapping on it. Now, I'm not saying that Jedi Mind Tricks or Icon the Verbal Hologram were the first people to ever do this, because I don't think they were. I think there were other people. I think Lost Children of Babylon, who feature on the album, they were probably kind of spitting these bars. I'm pretty sure Apathy has got like a mixtape with all his old bars that, precede '97. But this was certainly the first album I heard, and I would go as far as saying it was the first album of this ilk that made waves in like hip hop underground. I was just reading the critical reception, which I'm surprised at because I remember trying to talk to people on forums, hip hop forums, about this album, and it was I think at this time there'd only been this album and Violent by Design, the next album released, and most people that I personally spoke to really hated this album compared to Violent by Design. I suppose that it was always like as a juxtaposition, like which album do you prefer? But I was just so captivated by how original this one was, and as much as Violent by Design is still original, and I think kind of Violent by Design spawned a lot of, it influenced a lot of what we hear or heard throughout like the noughties underground hip hop scene, but also still hear a bit today. Um, this album was more original. And yeah, and I always preferred Icon the Verbal Hologram over the name Vinnie Paz. And even his, I don't know, something about his voice I preferred at the time. Now, this is my favourite Jedi Mind Tricks album, though I don't think it is the best. Does that make sense to you? I'm not sure what I think the best Jedi Mind Tricks album is. Maybe Legacy of Blood. Maybe. Anyway, so yeah, the critical response surprised me. It was pretty positive. These two quotes. Dean Carlson of All Music said, "An angular symphonic sweatshop or sweet shop of mid-tempo beats that acted as a palette for the group's scattershot rhymes and paranoid rhymes." I'd hardly call it paranoid rhymes. Yeah, talking about conspiracies, I just think it's more of a tapestry of conspiracies. Concluding that it might take some time for Jedi Mind Trick sound to fully mature, but their metaphysical peculiarity is a promising new glow in the dark hip hop underground. B. Ridgway from Reviews praised their idiosyncratic sci fi lyrics dealing with spaceships, Atlantis, and ancient prophecies, heavy use of religious references and imagery, and Stoops' production, which created a suitable soundscape to complement the lyrics. Agreed. However, he criticised what he described as the occasional flatness of the beats, odd use of pop culture references, and cornball tendencies in the lyrics that may turn people away from listening to the album. I think it's interesting that he says that because I agree in general. Jedi Mind Tricks. So Vinnie Paz and Jusselar, when he was there, both I don't know. It's like they're almost holistically create this image, and then they have the odd lyric that pulls you out, and it's either a kind of out of place pop culture reference or just something corny. So just kind of a corny line to finish off like what would was a dope verse. "I'm the definition of toxic. Anybody who ever got close to me got sick." uh, still, I feel that's certainly part of Vinny's charm nowadays. Hopefully it's part of Jussalar's charm. I hope Jussalar's doing okay in life. I've not heard from any news from him for some time, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, that still, it doesn't take away from Jedi Mind Tricks. I'd almost say now, after so many albums, if they didn't have that, I don't know, it's just part of it now. The cornball references. Anyway, I think this album has less than than others. It feels more of a solid concept, and it is. And I think Vinny has described this album as a concept album, and I'm not sure any of his others are really, or their others are really concept albums. They're more just. He just kind of seemed to move away from this and amalgamate these topics with kind of more Angry Street kind of thing. And Stoop definitely evolved. Like his beats became a lot less flat, I'd say. And yeah, more banging. So what I'm going to do is have a listen to some of these songs. I don't know if we'll see. Will I get through an album? Very much doubt it, but we'll go for the intros. See what the intro's all about.
Just buying any old toothpaste? To be fair, I was too.
That was loud. That was very loud.
But the new Colgate Total Active Prevention regime is 15 times more.
Okay, this is the intro to the album. I think I can remember.
God divided the light from the darkness.
Yes, he did. Oh, did he?
And God called the light day.
What did he call the darkness?
The darkness he called.
Vinny Paz.
He called.
The verbal hologram.
I always thought this looked like Arnold Rimmer from Red Dwarf. Don't know if you've ever seen Red Dwarf.
Press use only.
Yeah.
Baby Grand
It's
Records.
It's got to have that Baby Grand business over the top. That's a little bit annoying. Right, that's the intro. Let me see if there's a version that doesn't have for press use only.
God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day. And the darkness he called.
Box Cutter Pazzy. Oh, did it say for press use only? I don't think it has over. So right, there's the intro. The first song from Jedi Mind Tricks, a psychosocial, chemical, biological, electromagnetic manipulation of human consciousness. I'm guessing this is like solids, liquids and gases or some sort of thing. I always found it a little bit mysterious. In fact, when I first had this album, I only had it like a copy on CD. I think my brother had like sent some dollars to some random guy in America, and he'd sent back like a load of music like this. So yeah, it was a copied CD, and I can remember it skipping. It got scratched and started skipping. But then by the time, I think it was around the time Violent by Design came out, because I can remember Landspeed distributing Violent by Design, and I can remember, I think it could have been like Hip Hop Connection having a Landspeed CD in there, and it had a snippet for Violent by Design, or maybe one or two of the songs off Violent. Anyway, let's go for the first song, which is one of my favourite songs on there, mainly for the lyrics, but it really does introduce you to the album. It's just a tapestry, a collage of interesting references that are historic, religious, esoteric, scientific, and the rest.
I'm setting the example. And what I've done is going to be
Kevin Spacey, 7, who
puzzled over and studied and followed forever.
Prepare for the verbal war. The hologram advanced physical form.
Prepare for the verbal war, the hologram advanced physical form. You've got me, because at this point I'd probably only really heard gangster rap, and I might have heard Jedi Mind Tricks prior to hearing like emo rap. So I think Jedi Mind Tricks might have been my first like, whoa, things can be different. Yeah, prepare for the verbal war, the hologram advanced physical form, manifesting universal mind into the law.
Manifest the universal mind into the law. Traveling lands, I stand on sands of chemical vibrations. The math.
Traveling lands, I stand on sands of chemical vibration, the math.
Kings of light departed in wrath. So where you gonna stand when the Elohim return? 7 great sages.
It's just worth saying that all of these things like just gripped me. So where you got to stand when the Elohim returns, 7 great stages throughout the age, say you burned. This was pre just Google things, this was. But I can remember like trying to research a lot of this stuff, and it was definitely my introduction to like a lot of conspiracy stuff. Yeah, so where you going to stand when the Elohim return, 7 great stages throughout the age, say you burned.
Kings of light departed in wrath. So where you gonna stand when the Elohim return? 7 great sages throughout the ages say you burn. It's my turn to shine. I redefine the crystalline biological structures implanted in your mind.
It's my turn to shine. I've redefined the crystalline biological structures implanted in your mind. What does it mean? It probably means nothing, and it's probably not worth Googling because it'll take the mystery away from it nowadays, but it sounds interesting. And there was this website, and I'm pretty sure it was pre-JediMindTricks.com. There was a website that was called like Fusion Anomaly or something like that had all Jedi Mind Tricks lyrics, and a lot of them you could click on, or all of them from this album, and you could click on a lot of them, and it kind of explained what the things were in the most esoteric explanations. I just wanted to point out that line earlier on as well, like Kings of Light departed in wrath. It's that sort of imagery that gets me, like the metaphors, and I mean that's probably not even a metaphor. It just feels like a metaphor. That also reminds me of Sinister Stricken, who you've heard me talk about and react to. So, yeah.
So I find the deaf, dumb, and blind, and bless them with science and leave the blind ones behind. Descending into this ball of mass in the form of rain. The verbal hologram brings pain, so rearrange disagreeable ways that brought you to darkness. Take hold and rip out your soul from your carcass and rise away like a sham. The verbal hologram is the verbal avalanche. One last chance to replan and overstand before the hologram set your camp to Holy Land. So ask your man when he returned where I sent him. The plan was to kill God and reinvent him.
So ask your man when he returned from where I sent him. The plan was to kill God and reinvent him. So I must have, I was young when I heard this album, 12, 13. And I can remember my brother saying, like, you know, like philosophically pointing that out. Oh, what does that mean? You know, like what would it mean to kill God and reinvent him? What is God? You know, we grew up atheists. These sorts of raps made you think. But yeah, you know, I've got an older brother there testing the philosophical boundaries of a 13-year-old's brain.
Practicing black magical tactics like voodoo, attacking like the 7 deadly warships of Naboo.
Attacking like the 7 deadly warships of Naboo. That Method Man sample.
I bring forth the mighty you, the Manu, the powerful Zapadra, the darkening behind you, the biblical Omega Man, the Ashtar command. I came to bring mortals the Barath to be glad. So here I stand on the 4 corners of Stonehenge, traveling through portals, the thunderbolt of battles, the Lord of the Immortals, the seal of the 7, the rising of the demon, the lost books of the Bible and forgotten books of Eden.
So here I stand on the 4 corners of Stonehenge, travelling through portals, the thunderbolts of battles, the Lord of the Immortals, the seal of the 7, the rising of the demon, the lost books of the Bible and forgotten books of Eden. It's like, what is all of that? 4 corners? Does he know something I don't know? Is it not circular? Is it a stone circle? Is it a stone square? Tell me. I want to know, Vinny. I mean, Icon. We're not calling ourselves Vinny just yet, are we? Right, okay. Maybe I'll never know. But all of that, I just love the flow of all of that bit, and yeah, beautiful.
Traveling through portals, be glad. So here I stand on the four corners of Stonehenge, traveling through portals, the thunderbolt of battles, the Lord of the immortals, the seal of the seven, the rising of the demon, the lost books of the Bible and forgotten books of Eden. The heathens will burn like roses, handed the holy tablets like Moses. The blackening of roses will send you to the edges of the land. The emerald tablets of Thoth the Atlantean. The hands of the mighty Lion of Judah will throw you through the triangular portals of Bermuda.
Cool imagery. The hands of the mighty Lion of Judah will throw you through the triangular portals of Bermuda. Thought might have paused, but that might just be my ignorance.
The holographic aspects of consciousness for aliens.
Oh, holographic aspects of consciousness.
For alien of Judah will throw you through the triangular portals of Bermuda, exploring the holographic aspects of consciousness for aliens to devour. Orthodox versus relativistic equations for power.
Ah, orthodox versus relative equations of power. Ah, I can't even say it, but Icon is rhyming it or rapping it.
The shower of acid rain brings pain to the land. You cannot kill what you cannot see. The verbal hologram.
Don't ask me to pity those people.
Yeah.
I don't mourn them any more than I do the thousands that died.
I think I was probably listening to this album prior to being like multi-syllable mad hip-hop fan. But still, even as a multi-syllable mad hip-hop fan, I recognise that Icon is rapping in multi-syllable rhymes, but he's kind of carrying something else there with him that kind of negates the need. His flow's decent. It's not the best flow ever, but I just think the interest in his lyrics for myself would have been so strong anyway that, you know, there's a chance if I was at the height of my arrogant hip-hop stage, if I'd have heard this for the first time, I would have neglected it. But hopefully I would have seen through that. So yeah, there's the first song on the Psychosocial. A smacking cracker. Right. So I'm gonna have a listen to, next up on the Jedi Mind Tricks album is Chinese Water Torture. Advert, great.
감사합니다.
Can we skip? Oh, I'm sipping me coffee. Okay, so this song, the title is maybe a little bit out of place. And even the lyrics, they do touch obviously on Chinese water torture, but it's definitely not one of my. It's probably my worst song on the album, not including the bonus songs. They're all the worst, but yeah. Anyway, let's go. Oh, let's just check who it features. It features Breath of Judah. Okay. I think Vinny's flow on this is pretty cool though, he does some dope rhyming. Other dude ain't that great.
I'm on a killing spree, like Cantonese, torturing, painting a picture with a paintbrush and watercolor of genies. Holding your tea, vitality, it's all you need if you're a different being.
I was saying when reacting to the last song on the album, The Winds of War, how I might have rejected, you know, this album if I'd heard it a few years later when I was at the height of my arrogant hip-hop stage, just because of the multi-syllable, you know, it hasn't got a lot of multi-syllable rhymes. Now, I did very quickly reject all of these feature rappers, all of them except for Apathy. Apathy's couple of verses are amazing, and then I think there's one other guy, maybe Sun Pharaoh on another track. His verse is dope, but who is it on this one again? Isn't it? Oh, it's Breath of Judah. Yeah. Okay.
It will be a different color when you bleed accurately, punctured from needles in your nervous system. I like to see men, not water, soluble.
Come on,
Because the
Icon.
attributes of yin
Take
yang
over.
stool. When I cut you simultaneously, like Huang, killing you too quickly. If I were to bang weightlessly, I hang you in aqua, sending electric shocks. open up all your chakras. And when I do, the offset chant, it will biochemically plant water beads on your brain while putting salt water on open wounds that have you in pain.
Suffer Chinese water torture. My word is
Yeah,
water
that verse is
torture.
whack.
The verbal hologram is verbal war. Chinese water torture to your molecular structure. Ancient scholars wondering where they've seen us. Babylon's hanging gardens in the temple of Artemis. The hologram crushing you to grains of sand. Lawnmower man. Computer generated battles of the unseen hand. Internal bleeding. I plant my ceiling with deadly arrows. Fly like sparrows and get destroyed by the army of the pharaohs.
Right, so there's a reference to the army of the pharaohs. Yeah, I was literally thinking before, and it was probably this beat that initiated this thought. But when did the army of pharaohs first get mentioned? Because they are on the Violent by Design, the next album, Esoteric Virtuoso, and Vinnie Paz as Army of the Pharaohs. But yeah, there you go. So there is a reference to them. I wonder if the Lost Children of Babylon were included in the Army of Pharaohs. I wonder at this time. I'd like to know.
Cyborg, the mind morph to the womb. Elan, movie to see, travel moons a million. The ancient palace, the ancient chalice. Mystical like Aurora Borealis. The palace of pain. Yahweh came down upon it in flame. Half fable, half Cain. It's slain with a verbal flame. Bring forth the signs of Anunnaki Elohim. Image of the 24, the supreme. And ripping out your spleen. Distributing gangrene throughout your team. Lord of the Rings brings deadly hologramic dreams. Word up.
So they mentioned Lord of the Rings, so Vinny or Icon does in that song. That would have got me. I was a massive fan of Lord of the Rings at that point, so I would have appreciated that.
Different torture devices. Suffer Chinese water torture. My word is water. In my basement's an arrangement of different torture devices. Suffer Chinese water torture. My word is water.
You hear the pounding in your head when I hit the disc gong. The vibrations will start circulation along the body's meridians and everything that has pores. Even obsidian will secrete moisture. And as part of your torture, I'll anoint ya with libations pouring, cleansing with the cleanse. And you'll feel as if you were diving in the ocean and caught the bends. The elements of the seas to cure all disease. Now tell me if you're unpleased. I'll treat you like a dog and never wash off your fleas. Have you waiting till I fill your bowels with a fishbowl full of frenzy and hungry sea monkeys suffering from internal mange. You have to consort to the E-King for change.
Okay, what we got, Vinny? Icon?
Look in the mirror and soul to find exactly where the frauds be. Leaving the squad dead on the side of the road like Ennis Crosby. Hologram eliminating the Earth's population. Matrix field basis of organic manipulation. Icon dwell in the forest like the Ewoks. We rocks but following.
I was also a big fan of Star Wars. Icon dwelling in the forest like the Ewoks. That would have pleased me as well. That flow is cool, but the song just isn't gripping.
Dead on the side of Look in the mirror and soul to find exactly where the frauds be. Leaving the squad dead on the side of the road like Ennis Crosby. Hologram eliminating the Earth's population. Matrix field basis of organic manipulation. Icon dwell in the forest like the Ewoks. We rocks but following the prophetic books of Enoch in the treetops.
Ah, the prophetic books of Enoch. I don't know if that's referenced again on another song. I just don't remember this song being that influential to me, but there's so many references in it. I was like, it probably did draw me in. But anyway.
Hang over your cipher like a ninja within the perimeters of the disagreeable sinners. In my basement's an arrangement of different torture devices. Suffer Chinese water torture. My word is water. In my basement's an arrangement of different torture devices. Suffer Chinese water torture. My word is water.
Gently drip single droplets of water upon his forehead until he spoke.
Yeah, okay. I mean, kind of don't get it, but you know, Chinese water torture, but also all the other esoteric kind of stuff in there. Those pop culture references. I mean, the Ewoks one's a bit cheesy. Lord of the Rings one isn't too bad. But yeah, there you have it. That is track 2. Well, it's actually track 3 if you include the intro from the psychosocial, chemical, biological and electromagnetic manipulation of human consciousness by Jedi Mind Tricks, their seminal album, as I have said. That's unless you include the Amber Probe EP, but we don't do that, do we? It's okay. The third song from the Jedi Mind Tricks Psychosocial, I'm pretty sure some people isn't this class as an EP in itself, the Psychosocial EP? Maybe not. Nah. 10 tracks or 12 tracks? Whatever. Who cares? Yeah, this is the third song, The Three Immortals. I did love this song back in the day for Apathy in there. And at the beginning, there's this sample that I think that I later learned was from Hellraiser, maybe? Explorers. Blah, 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 blah. I always thought it sounded like a name. It took me ages to realise it said Explorers. I always thought it sounded like it was saying a name. But I won't say what that name is. And if anybody ever hears, have a guess. See if it sounds like that name to you. Anyway, yeah, featuring Apathy and another one with Breath of Judah from this album. Which track was it? Oh, it was the last track, wasn't it? 2 tracks in a row. The track before this. Chinese Water Torture, yes. Okay, right, Three Immortals, let's go.
Explorers in the further regions to experience demons to solve, angels to
Definitely talking about Cenobites.
come with us.
Enter the dragon with 3 immortal surgeons, Ark of the Covenant and the holiest excursions, the search for the knowledge and the wisdom of the science. The hologram sends you to the abode of the damned, immortal like vampires, setting fires in the caverns of the unholy. Hold the ancients, the hope of Abraham.
So this song in particular, I'd just say, is just holistically vivid. The imagery, it just feels like the beat, you're consumed with kind of imagery of rare esoteric things. You know, it starts off with Ark of the Covenant references, you know, Holy Land.
Enter the dragon with 3 immortal surgeons, Ark of the Covenant and the holiest excursions, the search for the knowledge and the wisdom of the science. The hologram sends you to the abode of the damned, immortal like vampires, setting fires in the caverns of the unholy. Hold the ancients, the hope of Abraham. Send you to the sacred land to change form, performing rituals that leave you scorned.
Send you to the sacred land to change forms, performing rituals that leave you scorn. Is it Crown of Thorns next?
Performing rituals that leave you scorned. Crown of Thorns adorns the unborn in which you spawn. There is no shelter from the storm of Babylon's lost children. I lead millions to the prom.
There is no swarm. No something from the storm of Babylon, lost children, I live millions. So yeah, the lost children of Babylon were, I think they're from Philadelphia, the same as Icon, aka Vinnie Paz and Stoop. I think they fell out after this album. My understanding was that they fell out, because I remember asking the question when I was only listening to this and Violet by Design, and I'm fairly sure my brother told me they'd fallen out, and he'd read something about an interview from one of the Lost Children people, like kind of dissing Vinny, saying that Vinny, I don't know, I don't get it, that maybe, what was it, like this was fake, Vinny wasn't this spiritual guy or whatever like that. Maybe he was questioning his religiosity. Bearing in mind, this is information I'm remembering that my brother told me 20 years ago, so might all be bollocks. They might not have fallen out, though I say they might not have fallen out. I always wondered why on the first track on Legacy of Blood, Icon says, "Destroy everything in Babylon, you fucking fake rap, I hate that 'cause you Babylon, you fucking hard F's are gone." I always felt like he was talking about someone specifically, and he had just said destroy everything in Babylon, so maybe there was a beef. It feels like a vague but also on the nose diss. Yeah, I don't know. Can anybody tell me, was was that line in, what song is it? Is it Age of the Sacred Terror? Is that what it's called? Pretty sure it's the first track on Legacy of Blood where he shouts out like Ill Bill and Necro and stuff. So yeah, anyway, I'm getting carried away. 3 Immortals.
Promised land, the holy lab, the planetary hologram, blowing your chakras to oblivion. Digital man, biblical man like Simeon, vanishing breed, the holy throne. Presidents of the United States are now clones. The zones of the virus, the eye of Cyrus, the last waltz of the tyrants. The harvesting begins now. Infinite information like Wu Chai Tao. But how
cool.
will you withstand the power of the helix, the crucifixion of the phoenix? The black thesis will burn you, give to you the darkest of afflictions. Mortal MCs face the verbal crucifixion.
Yeah, all of that. All of it was cool. That whole verse is cool. It's a solid verse.
The infinite grand planet is Kakashinama. Most high called Aliyaba. Astronomer roam the universe like Romulus. Indigenous with the consciousness of Sirius. I am a 7th density light being. Trans manifest personally.
So back when I first heard this guy's verse would have held water for me because I was just interested in the content, and then a few years later I just struggled with this kind of delivery, just kind of no energy, no great rhymes to latch on. Because you can lack energy, you can even lack a good delivery to me, but if you've got some cool rhyming words, I'm probably still gonna appreciate you. Topic-wise, yeah, it's cool, but it's not. Because of those other things, he's not gripping me enough to kind of pick up the imagery as much. But that said, there's someone for everybody. It's just this guy, Breath of Judah, hasn't grown on me in 20 years. Although I haven't heard this album for some time.
Divine nation, Atlantis rising, 3-dimension radiation is extremely for difficulty to cope with the body externally. In the center of the galaxy, alchemy, spirit, soul, mind, commitment, so that's sufficient. Receive 9 dimensions of cosmic expansion, exquisitely. Philadelphian church, chosen city, and instance, the vortexes, Pleiadian sequence, equinoxes at the 0 point to Dogen, keeping time flying, sitting on competent, meditating, 3 immortals through portals.
Time for Apathy's verse.
The plot thickens through psychological crucifixions. I've won red seas and travel lands, guided Christians. My writings escape the earth in certain crisis. I create raps for Christ in 12 righteous tribes. Educate with positive vibes. Devastate your dimension and nobody survives. Out of smoke we rise, illuminating eyes and wise. Teaching lost fools that Yeshua never dies. I cry, try to cut off my air supply. I'ma transport to space, let the mothership fly. Adam 9-7 signs, let the dolphin be the Baptist. The self-contained underwater breathing apparatus in Atlantis. Digital image screen enhances photographs of alien ships upon your planets.
So I'm gripped, I'm actually drawn into the imagery. There's nothing like standout super special about this verse, and Apathy is an absolute lyrical beast when he wants to be. Blows Vinny out of the water, and he blows pretty much anybody in the Jedi Mind orbit or Army of Pharosphere out of the water. But there's none of that in this verse. It's just the imagery's there. It's good solid rhymes like all of Icons on this album, with cool imagery. Put it back a little.
The self-contained underwater breathing apparatus in Atlantis. Digital image screen enhances photographs of alien ships upon your planets. Emerge from volcanoes, dreadlocks and halos. Presto, change-o, I morph through tornadoes and tear up your major metropolis. You fish tank guppies couldn't fuck with the octopus.
Yep, you couldn't mess with the octopus. Yeah, it's good. It's just a good solid rhyme track. So this came on the album. This came after 3 Chinese Water Torture. It's too like both tracks are pretty chilled out. So for an album, like, they probably shouldn't have had them back to back. They should have just taken the Chinese Water Torture track out. I know I'm saying this like 30 years later than the album was released. What was it released in? 28 years. I'd love to do a remix of this album for the 30th anniversary of it. I did. I once messaged Stoop to ask him if I could do a remix of it. And he did actually message me back. He messaged me back. I'll have to dig them out one day and find them here. Anyway, yeah, so there's 3 of Malls. The track 4 on the Psychosocial, the 3rd song, as there is an intro. Yeah, good one. The 4th song on Jedi Mind Tricks, Psychosocial, Chemical, Biological, and Electro-Magnetic Manipulation of Human Consciousness is Never Antiquated. Antiquated, yeah, that's it. Dark Jedi Remix. This version is not as good as the original. So, I think I'd mentioned that my brother had the copied CD. It didn't have this version on it, had the original version. So when the album actually got a proper re-release on Baby Grand years later, then that's when we realised that we'd been listening to the version off the Amber Probe. So yeah, this version isn't as good. It doesn't kind of fit in with the vibe of the whole album, the bass and the beat and everything. It's not quite as in sync as the original track is. But anyway, let's go. I don't know who it features. Let's have a look. Sun Pharaoh, who's okay, who's decent.
Complexities bring entities when hardcore be the factor. Physically shattered by the cosm and metacosm distractor. Fractured by my supernatural forces. Face losses as I break backs like Superman on horses. Word to jaw, ancient warrior like Thor. Spiritual like the ibis god Thor. Complex construction by the technician builders fan to your collective mind.
Enemy of mankind.
With Egyptian archaeological finds dwelling in the dungeon of time.
It's still all the stuff I want to hear from like Jedi Mind Tricks. Dwelling in the dungeon of time. You ready? Oh, he already said it. He's already said it.
In the dungeon of time. Swarming like locusts in your speaker. Examining communication systems with cybernetics. Keep notes of my flows or get flows or cryogenics. East Coast domination for the DUB massive. Gathering at black masses to gain knowledge of the clashes of past rhythmic masses. When I'm ending, never ending like the sky. 1.21 gigawatts to defeat me like Marty McFly. So why?
Could probably do without the Marty McFly reference on this album.
Would you battle the recipe? Got rappers sweating harder than some retards on Jeopardy.
Yeah, that's a shit pop culture reference. Got rappers sweating harder than some on Jeopardy.
One time for your mind, no doubt. DUB in the house, motherfuckers. East Coast like that for your mind, killer down. One time for your mind, killer down, son.
Is it 2 verses this? Or did they do a back to back?
Swarm into your section. Scientific lessons in my possession unfold within my session. Injections investing inside your mind, causing tension. Blessing mentals is my obsession. Intentions to make you change professions. Wisdom in prison dejects.
Yeah, that was all dope rhyming from Sun Pharaoh.
Scientific lessons in my possession unfold within my session. Injections investing inside your mind, causing tension. Blessing mentals is my obsession. Intentions to make you change professions. Wisdom in prison dejects, leaving you vexed. My cerebral vortex rips and wrecks when I infest. Bless. Reading scriptures that's evil. There's no equal to my cerebral. That nigga 4OK remain imperial. Unbelievable lyricism will leave incisions. Cause pain like circumcision as you recognize the
Realism.
The
Go on, Icon.
damage MCs tragically come and battle me. Bear witness to insanity. My corrupted mentality. Plan to slaughter your family automatically. I bless the microphone with strategies. Your alliance is left in silence. Victim of verbal violence. Deadly vocabulary. The gore be dropped by science, no doubt.
Yeah, Sun Pharaoh's pretty dope. Give him that. Is he off the army of the Lost Children of Babylon? Is he one of those dudes? Have we got another verse?
amongst the illest individuals. I bless the mentals of criminals with materials formulated to penetrate cerebrals. I'm lethal, imperial type scriptures infiltrate this split ya.
I would rarely listen to this song. Oh yeah.
Hardcore concepts causing everything to be raw. A8048D causes misery that be abominable. Even like 3 times
like Sagano.
Test my squadron and watch a macrocosm turn to particles. Non-particles are non-particles like the nucleus of an atom. The corpuscles which carry the oxygen
From the lungs, kind of patterns. Yeah, I have to listen. I had to listen to it through. Philadelphia, like Philadelphia. That kind of like Shaolin, Staten Island. Philadelphia Shambhala. I am the beginning and ending of what is raw. I wonder what that's from, or did he just say it for this song, or is it from an earlier track and sampled from? Anyway, yeah, maybe it's between this one and Chinese Water Torture, which are my worst track from the Psychosocial album. Yeah, it's between them. Song 5 on the Jedi Mind Trick Psychosocial album is one of my favourite songs on the album, Omnicrom. It's a pretty alien song and it features apathy, and is it just apathy? Or is... Oh, and Some Pharaoh, yeah. I'm pretty sure Some Pharaohs is the third verse, and it is mostly Some Pharaoh rapping, but I'm pretty sure like Icon shares it, Vinny shares the verse in some way. Maybe he just does the ad-libs, the back-ends or something. But Apathy's verse, Icon's verse, and Some Pharaoh's verse. There was just there's some verses on this album that I just went back to all over and over. So the Winds of War ones, mainly for the kind of simplistic way he puts across cool imagery. The Omnicron verses, just again the simplistic way they put across kind of like an alien-y kind of thing. And then As It Begins, Book of Tan, Icon's verses on both of these, not really any of the other people. Both of them are like relatively complex. Then there's the Immaculate... Anyway, I don't need to go through the whole album. I'm doing the albums and you can listen to me listening to each song. I'm going to Omnicrom. Omnicrom it is. So yeah, it's the alienness that I love in this one. So yeah, let's go for it. I told them of the Hillbot Comet. Let's go.
I told them of the Hillbot Comet 7 years ago. It is running. If you will notice on our sensors, we have picked up a ship.
I've got a cat kicking off behind me. Let me just let this little fuck out. Go on, you. Right. The cat's out. The cat's out of the bag. Okay, let's get back to the Hellbot. Yeah.
Beneath it, we have picked up a ship.
What have we picked up?
Beneath it, of great dimension. All we want to turn it is 2 degrees, so that he shall not die.
Oh, they found something that they don't want to not be alive. Okay. Right, anyway, over to Earth.
So soon.
Over the earth I hover, spinning whirlwinds and wheat fields, while my force fields repel 4 winds from broken seals. Numbered 7, embedding my brethren, breaking bread with Yeshua in Bethlehem. The last cry was lost, so the alien sent the lamb.
There's something about these guitar strings, I think it's strings, chords, notes, whatever, I think it's a guitar, and Apathy's voice that go together really well, and his kick-in and flow is dope, and then the bit where he's just like performing alien brain scans and spiritual exams while the mothership lands on holy lands, he just rides it really well, but we're going to blast off the verse.
Die so soon.
Over the earth I hover, spinning whirlwinds and wheat fields, while my force fields repel 4 winds from broken seals. Numbered 7, embedding my brethren, breaking bread with Yeshua in Bethlehem. The last cry was lost, so the alien sent the lamb. The devil bears the pentagram, a horrible hologram. Our body slam man with the head of grams, let it be damned. Make the connection to the son of Sam and Uncle Sam. So Sam I am, keep your fucking eggs and ham.
I could do without those Son of Sam and Eggs and Ham references, but they're there. They're there.
Sam I am, keep your fucking eggs in ham. Performing alien brain scans and spiritual exams where the mothership lands on holy land. My mental expands with plans to span through the galaxy. I land a farmer's crop spelling out the name apathy.
My mental expands with plans to expand through the galaxy. I land on farmer's crops spelling something apathy. Alternate apathy.
My mental expands with plans to span through the galaxy. I land a farmer's crop spelling out the name apathy. Speaking my name is blasphemy, so call me your majesty.
Always like that. Speaking my name is blasphemy, so call me your majesty. It's a braggadocious hip-hop in an esoteric form. And I suppose apathy is braggadocious hip-hop.
Speaking my name is blasphemy, so call me your majesty. Majestic phonetics begin affecting reality. Religiously, I mystically chant and recite on mics at astronomical heights, guided by the northern lights. Poltergeist masquerade as Christ enticed like Heidi Fleiss, trying to put the righteous...
Heidi Fleiss, another pop culture reference that I didn't get at the time, so it could have meant anything, and then I learned who Heidi Fleiss was not long after, because she was in like Big Brother in the UK, and I remember thinking, what? Why is Apathy talking about her on this cool alien song?
Greatest Christ enticed like Heidi Fleiss, trying to put the righteous on ice. You're a holographic device and simply see through, robotic like R2D2. I'm original like Hebrews and 144,000 people made.
I'm original like Hebrews and 144,000 people. Some prophecy business, that.
Lord bless you and keep you. Folding gargoyles like tinfoil to sit upon your steep. Will space probes of the next century
discover extraterrestrial logs. Can't say it. Who's got to kick in next? It's got to be Icon, isn't it? Pre-Vinny. Yes. That's what I like to hear. Biophysical biosphere, witch doctor unlock the cobra spitting venom. I am here. Yes.
Biophysical biosphere, witch doctor unlock the cobra spitting venom. I am here. I stand here with the hearts of the weak. I bring pain, camel clutch, iron cheek.
I bring pain, camel clutch, iron chic. Now, typically, wrestling references would be cheesy in an album like that, but he makes that sound okay, that pop culture reference. And he is a big wrestling... I suppose he's a big wrestling fan. I don't really know that, but with all the wrestling references he has in tracks, I'd assume he is at least somewhat of a wrestling fan.
I bring pain, camel clutch, iron cheek. Order of the Golden Dawn.
Ooh, Order of the Golden Dawn. I Google searched that or did something, looked in a book or something, some conspiracy business.
Cheek, Order of the Golden Dawn. I am born of biochemical implants in heads of the unborn. Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David. Fight the Tibetan rites of rejuvenation are sacred. Master your high or die under the staff, or get burned like Betty Shabazz, and I will laugh. Demons at dimensional doorways come through this, but I will have you hanging from a tree like you was Judas.
So all of that is cool imagery. I don't really know who Betty Shabazz is, and maybe I should search because it's not kind of it sounds like an out of place reference, but I don't know. Might not be. Might be clever. But everything after that is cool, and then I always loved that, and I'm pretty sure our original CD that we had this on skipped at this point. The demons of dimensional doorways come through this, but I will have you hanging from a tree like you was Judas. I love that, just for the imagery. And then the kind of beat drops a bit and his rhymes build up a bit on the next sequence of rhymes, which we're about to hear. Have you hanging from a tree like you was Judas, violent Buddhist, the hierarch Decaton, revelations of the Metatron, something I form Voltron, with elements of Tai Chi, doing battle with 7 heads and 10 hordes of me, the hologram, traveller, space portals, my soul cannot be imprisoned or trapped by mere mortals, torture them with the pain of scorpion stings, spitting lightning, Lord of the Rings I bring. I should just leave it for Icon to do. I just like to know that my memory is still solid and Alzheimer's has not set in yet. It will do, I'm sure, one day, but not as of yet. So go.
Demons at dimensional doorways come through this, but I will have you hanging from a tree like you was Judas. Violent Buddhist, the hierarch Decaton, revelations of the Metatron. I form Voltron with elements of Tai Chi, doing battle with 7 heads and 10 horns is me.
The hologram.
Travel off through space portals. My soul cannot be imprisoned or trapped by mere mortals. Torture them with the pain of scorpion stings, spitting lightning.
Another Lord of the Rings reference of the pharaohs. Arrows. Contorting, polymorphing, and aborting the souls of the MCs. I play ghost to do my haunting or something. Nice. Oh, Icon. It's almost like he wasn't putting on a voice here, and then he starts putting on a voice in Violent by Design, which just became his normal speaking voice after that. But it's cool. I've still not found my rap voice.
Eliminating masses with mathematical tactics, strategic, electronical weaponry, fucking up your anatomy.
I can hear Icon in the background.
Atomically forming the fraudulent MC and slaughter he with battle strategy, confusion,
weaponry,
cause fatality,
intergalactic tactics.
Like metallics with mathematics, I leave your whole clique splattered. Pharaoh the savage, causing comatose, transporting dope shit through sleep wave hypnosis. Try to approach this, I saw prey like vultures and feast on the carcass of any lyrical artist. I'm sick with this scientific madness. Pharaoh the seventh sign causing world disaster. Cerebral master, iron killer gorilla. Verbal flames I spit through your chest like the killer. Constructing the art of war like Sun Tzu. That becomes you as I run through MCs like battering rams. You understand? Son Pharaoh and the motherfucking hologram.
So yeah, he's just doing the ad-libs there, is Icon. They don't really share the verse. It's definitely some Pharaoh's verse, but you can hear Icon quite a bit throughout it. So there it is, Omnicron. One of my favourite songs on the album. Or, I'll say one of my favourite 6. Good song, all 3 verses are very decent and go with the beat perfectly. A few cheesy references in there, but nothing to cry about. So yeah, there it is. So, what do we have here then? As It Was in the Beginning. I wonder if they considered putting this as the first track, you know, at the beginning of the album. This is like track number 7 on the Jedi Mind Trick Psychosocial album, although it's the 6th song because the intro isn't really a song. And it features the Lost Children of Babylon. Am I correct? Does it feature all of them? Don't really know how many there is in the group, but it's probably changed over the years, yeah, because it doesn't feature that many people. Ooh, Amos, the Ancient Prophet, was considered, an official member. Rest in peace, my friend. One of my favourite producers. First appeared 96. Anyway, I don't need to get into a Lost Children rabbit hole, but yep, they feature on this song, so let's go. I'm gonna guess this is maybe Breath of Judah, one of the Lost Children rappers. I don't need to blast him off.
Satan will fall down at my feet, knowing I've awakened. I'm coming soon for them. Elohim's a New Jerusalem. Putting millennium criticisms on Christians. Truth shall be revealed by the seven cathedral seal. As a buzz open over whole David's shield. Ali Lama Zabatani. Those who defame me shall keep open my wounds. No liars allowed in a...
So we're about to hear Icon. Before we hear Icon, aka Vinny Paz, drop bars, so Vinny Paz, aka Icon the Verbal Hologram, aka Box Cutter Pazzy, aka Louis Dogs. Before we hear him, just a note on the beat. The beats, it's just got that underground loopy vibe to it, but it works. It works. It's very alien-esque, or yeah, it's more alien-esque than anything else. But let's just say esoteric-esque. So yeah, let's get ready for the 7 plagues of the 7 angels. 7 MCs get strangled by the 7 holiest triangles. Get ready.
With my wounds, no liars allowed in a school, more room.
7 plagues of the 7 angels. 7 MCs get strangled by the 7 holiest triangles.
Just a note on flow and all delivery, just the presence. He hasn't even got Vinny Paz presence at this point, but the fact that his voice isn't quite as strong, but it's relatively strong and the presence is there. But just the fact that he is flowing with a bit of energy. And he's got multi-syllable rhymes compared to the last dude. You take notice straight away. You're like, oh, it's time to listen. It's time to listen.
7 plagues of the 7 angels.
Allowed in a school, more room.
7 plagues of the 7 angels. 7 MCs get strangled by the 7 holiest triangles. I have mangled plexiglass beings that see through. Sons of evil like Robbie Knievel.
I don't know if that's a cheesy pop culture reference, but I always thought it was good. It's simple. It's very cool. Plexiglass beams that see through. Sons of evil like Robbie Knievel. Because Sons of evil as a sentence just kind of makes you vision Sons of evil like Robbie Knievel, but then it kind of throws you, like Robbie Knievel. But yeah, I like it. That's a good line.
I have mangled plexiglass beings that see through. Sons of evil like Robbie Knievel. I believe you are the lamb prepared for the verbal slaughter. Save your breath like you was underwater. I am torture like the fear of internationalism. Nazi eugenics and economic rationalism. I am the being born unto.
All of that interested me, and I think we were like massive history buffs as well growing up. We still are, certainly are. My brother more so in and around that kind of World War II period. So I remember hearing that Nazi eugenics thing, and it was something that we would have heard growing up, that word. So, oh wow, Nazi eugenics and economic rationalism. Oh.
Economic rationalism. I am the being born unto the scourge, and I am the being bringing holy wars.
Just a dope kick in. Dope imagery. I am the being born unto the scourge, and I am the being bringing holy wars.
Economic rationalism. I am the being born unto the scourge, and I am the being bringing holy wars. Orators from the womb of Il Jung, glory be to the sustainer El Kaloum. Gabriel fell from the steps of the heavens, extraditing evil rooted angels in the sevens.
As it was in the beginning,
so it shall be in the end.
As it was in the beginning, so it shall be in the end.
Black Tibetan Abyssinians, that begins the excoriation of the Phalashian pharaohs through the tombs of the Shangri-La of Philadelphia, Shenbala.
That first bit of rhyming was cool. The kicking was cool, and then he kind of got a little bit, disappears a little bit in trying to say clever things, I think.
Pharaohs through the tombs of the Shangri-La of Philadelphia, Shenbala, enter the paradigm of Rasulullah, Assyrian, celestial Hebrews, pillars of the Assyrians, hieroglyphians. I am the silhouette of Riskians, convention, the hills are shrine of 215, the old sons of limitless light, motorbikes that reveal from the 7 heavenly hills, the book of elves, angel, the apocalyptical tabernacle, sacred, sacerdotal, prophetical chapels, the synagogue of El Kaloum, the ghost gnostic monastery, sanctuary.
I'm sure everything he's saying is an interesting reference to something I should search, but, you know, delivery means a lot.
Cathedral from the kingdom of Melchizedek, we the mystic regime of the Anunnaki Elohim. Ye were originated from where the blackness of light was formulated. My synopsis is to give homage and all praises and salutation to the mercifulness, glory of the sons of mankind.
As it was in the beginning, so it shall be in the end.
Sink like the Titan into the cold dark waters of the ocean. My thought motion for Atlantis in emotion, elevated to rise beyond the shores. Revelators for episodes to the future. Energy seeking intruder, infiltrate the perimeter. Like an
intruder and chamber, they don't rhyme. I know they do rhyme, like ER, but come on, is it intruder and chamber he rhymes then?
Trade the perimeter, lock it in my initiation chamber.
Perimeter and chamber. Come on, dude. I know it was 97 or 96 or whatever you wrote that, but come on. Big Daddy K was showing you how to do multi-syllables way before this.
Prove to the God snake's not a stranger.
Stranger, chamber, yeah, chamber, stranger, anger. That was a very short verse by that guy. So there was only three Lost Children of Babylon dudes on there. None of them were great. The second dude was alright, but none were great. But Icon's verse was dope. I could probably give you a rendition of it. I'd probably mess up some of the big words. 7 plagues of the 7 angels, 7 MCs get strangled by the 7 holiest triangles. Iron mangled, plexiglass beams that see through, sons of evil like Robbie Knievel. I relieve you from the land prepared for the verbal slaughter. Save your breath like you was underwater. I am torture, like the fear of internationalism, Nazi eugenics and economic rationalism. I am the being born into the scourge, and I am the being bringing holy wars, orators from the womb of Ilhum. Glory me to the something El Kalum. Gabriel fell from the steps of the heavens, extraditing evil through the danger in the sevens, or something. As it was in the beginning, so it shall be in the end. So now we have me listening to Jedi Mind Tricks Books of Blood, The Coming of Tan, which again, like all the other songs, is from the psychosocial, chemical, biological, and electromagnetic manipulation of human consciousness, and this features, I don't know, El Halal or something along those lines, probably from the Lost Children of Babylon crew, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it's worth checking. Let's click on the Lost Children and see if he's on the list. No, he's not. Lex Darwin's on the list, and so is John Murdoch, though. Those two are good rappers. Those two are dope rappers. Okay, right. So yeah, it features El Alol. I'm sure these guys were all down with each other in the spiritual rap scene of the 90s. I can remember this track has, I think it's kind of like they split 2 verses each, maybe, or they've just got 2 verses, 2 16 bars each, and both of Icon's are amazing. I'm pretty sure Icon's verses on these are like ones that I just wanted to study over the years, and I still don't fully understand everything he's saying on them, but that's the beauty of timeless verses, I suppose.
Perhaps you will believe the million feet of film that's
I
been
believe
taken
it.
above Mexico City and various other. If you think that you're alone in this universe, you are the guardians of this universe. You are rudely mistaken.
Took a physical odyssey through the forest of Shabazz with the shamans of the Cherokees. Arrived in Nevada, 10 miles.
Okay, this guy's, he was never doing it for me, but I think how this guy doesn't do it for me. Icon's presence, verse, flow, bars, and everything really does do it for me. But he's there, he's with, Cherokee shamans, he's enjoying himself. It's 96, 97, I'll let it be.
You are rudely mistaken.
Took a physical odyssey through the forest of Shabazz with the shamans of the Cherokees. Arrived in Nevada, 10 miles away from NASA. Met the farmer, in which he revealed to me the old high-end crop circles that linked all the star constellations to the 19th galaxy. The metaphysicist that walked the Roswell, New Mexican deserts of
Death Valley.
Extraterrestrial biological entity discovering extraordinary memories scattered across ranch land. Suddenly seeing illumination from the 7 heavens, suck up the sand of area 51 and 57. Separate the school killer and reveal the reptilian. I seen the CIA transform into the species of rage. This habit 7 of the 7 levels of the majestic 12. Melchizedek travel out, travel the twilight zone with Einstein and Nikola Tesla. Walk through the wilderness.
Einstein and Nikola Tesla walk through the wilderness, did he?
Tesla. Walk through the wilderness of Iblis as the flying test of Ezekiel. The Pope stands upon the podium, becomes a zeta reticulum, and behold.
Okay, we're about to hit Icon kick in. Like many of the tracks on this, you just want to listen to Icon or Apathy if Apathy's on a song, but I think Apathy's only, is he on 3 songs, Apathy. This beat's cool. I like how the beat kind of builds up. It's just like simple strings, slow, bit of voice in there. Sounds like some monk or some business. But yeah, get ready. Beware.
Beware the prophecies of the charros, alien spacecraft flying away like sparrows. Study the lost prophetic books of the Bible, parasites for the body energy, spiritual survival.
Study the lost pathetic books of the Bible that recite in something spiritual survival.
Flying this scene in Ezekiel 1:3, granting the kingo a tablet of destinies. Sem Yasi spoke the word of the Bavarian Illuminati. I bring forth harmonics of Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Seviasi spoke the words of the Bavarian Illuminati. I bring forth harmonics of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Yo, harmonic, that's crazy. Okay, he's spitting atomic bomb raps.
Fourth harmonics of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Anunnaki planted the seed where I dwell. Ether vortex turbines pulling me to hell.
Anunnaki planted the seed where I dwell. Something heater vortex turbines pulling me to hell. It just always gripped me. And then he just goes off. He just loses the plot with just what he's saying, and I love it.
The seed where I dwell, ether vortex turbines pulling me to hell. Awareness upon my savannah is omnidimensional. Great species has a common memory complex that is social. Liquid crystal colloidal membranes responding to the spectrum of the universal intelligence matrix.
He doesn't even rhyme there. He doesn't even rhyme.
A common memory complex that is social.
Liquid crystal colloidal membranes responding to the spectrum of the universal intelligence matrix. Yeah, of course I can.
Complex that is social. Liquid crystal colloidal membranes responding to the spectrum of the universal intelligence matrix. The basis is that extraterrestrials created Christ and have a device that recorded all of Earth's history and can display it in the form of a hologram precise. Construction of synthetic humanoids is among us.
Construction of synthetic humanoids is among us. Where? Where's that happening?
You are banned to the land of Nod to face the deafening thunders and the spiritual wonders, because the harvest now is coming. Beware the world-bound ancient tunnel system the government is running. Hectic verbal slaughterer of the
Jedi. Hollow Earth? Is that a Hollow Earth reference? What's going on with these worldwide tunnels, Icon? Tell me. Years later, Viddy does a song where he's kind of like apologizing for conspiracy stuff. Now, hopefully he's not apologizing for this album in particular. Hopefully it's more the later stuff that comes where he's doing like what you'd call like, I don't know, profound songs that are more conspiratorial, like, you know, like K-Rhino business. And hopefully he's not talking about like the songs on this album, because the songs on this album don't come across as I seriously believe these conspiracies. It just comes across as like a tapestry, a concept album, and he's using them all to create this imagery. So yeah, you really don't need to apologize for these for pushing these conspiracies. His next verse on this is just amazing, and I'm pretty sure LLL drops the album title in his next verse. Psychosocial chemical biological electromagnetic manipulation of human consciousness. But I'm pretty sure he misses out the word chemical. I always remember that. I'm pretty sure that's this verse now. Let's listen. The psychosocial chemical biological electromagnetic manipulation of human consciousness. Let's go.
Fled with the 5 led through the European, would it be? It seems stone edge connect and bring upon the Anunnaki. The highest Kabbalist mystic chants Benai Elohim, and looks to the sky for prophecy. Was abducted in Nebraska and taken back to the laboratory. The experiment performed before me. The earthly alien autopsy. Psychosocial biological.
Psychosocial chemical biological electromagnetic. But no, listen for chemical, psychosocial, chemical, biological. Let's hear what he says.
The experiment performed before me. The earthly alien autopsy. Psycho-social, biological, and electromagnetic manipulation of human consciousness. The broken walks about the abyss.
Do you think he said it and then they changed the album title and added a chemical in there? Or do you think he was just like, oh, no one will notice. I'll just do it like this? Because I'm sure he could have fit chemical in there because he's not rapping fast.
Experiment performed before me. The earthly alien autopsy.
Psycho-social, chemical, biological, electromagnetic manipulation of human consciousness. Yeah, it could definitely have got it in. I can't rap fast, and I could have got it in. Right, I can't finish it off.
Babylonian and Hebrew Genesis like the star gods. Blessed by the Biabians like the French theologians. Antichrist is coming in the form of a powerful Roman. Development of age was funded in...
The Antichrist is coming in the form of a powerful Roman. Yes, who was that? Was that Nero? Was it Nero? Commodus? I'm pretty sure it was Nero, wasn't it? That they thought could have been the Antichrist. One of those very naughty Roman emperors. Hadrian, it's only in the Holy Lands didn't like Hadrian. Anyway, go on.
1969 for the 7, injected into 100 million Africans in 77. Cuneiform inscriptions in Western Asia of the Nabu.
From here, where the beat switches, I was just all grippage. You've gripped me, icon. I can't even say it. Cuneiform inscriptions of the novel, dwell in hell, celestial body 12 like Kotavu, but I can rob you of your spirit soul like Xenu, elders imprisoned, negative paraphysical beings we knew, or something like that. And then I don't even know what the words are after that. I'd have to pull them up on Rap Genius. We knew, function outside the time tracks like Hisasani. I came to be enclosed and I fold so like origami, comprehend the theory of reflection like Mahabharata, in the epic Sanskrit history of the world like Mahabharata, praise to his divine grace, AC Babada Wada Wala Wala Wanta. Anyway, let's hear Icon do it. It's amazing when he does it. It's bog standard when I do it.
The 7, injected into 100 million Africans in 77. Cuneiform inscriptions in Western Asia of the Nabu. Dwell in hell, celestial bodies 12 like Kakabu. But I can rob you of your spirit soul like Xenu. Elders in prison, negative paraphysical beings.
Just that flow. We're going back to it. Elders in prison, negative paraphysical beings renew. Just whatever it is, we knew, renew. Just the flow is just beautiful. He's saying all of those like that complex gibberish, near gibberish. I know it's not gibberish. It makes some sense.
Cuneiform inscriptions in West 77. Cuneiform inscriptions in Western Asia of the Nabu. Dwell in hell, celestial bodies 12 like Kakabu. But I can rob you of your spirit soul like Xenu.
And I'm pretty sure that's like all a reference to... Is it a reference to Scientology, that? Celestial bodies 12 like Katavu, but I can rob you of your spirit soul like Xenu. Is it Scientology?
In Western Asia of the Nabu, dwell in hell, celestial bodies 12 like Kakabu. But I can rob you of your spirit soul like Xenu. Elders in prison, negative paraphysical beings we knew. Function outside the time track like Sasani. I chose to be enclosed in our fold souls like origami. Comprehend the theory of reflection like Paramatma. In the epic Sanskrit history of the world like Mahabharata. Praise to his divine grace, AC Bhagavadan Swami Prabhupada.
Yes, praise to his divine grace, son, to this wicked land. All of that gripped me, and still grips me. What a beautiful collage, what a beautiful tapestry of esoteric rapping.
Downloaded 7 gigawatts of negative ions into the turbines. Would this not disrupt the electromagnetic flow?
I'm not sure. Would it disrupt the electromagnetic flow? I feel like there was a bit missing off the beginning of that to make that make sense. But I wouldn't have noticed that back when I first listened to the album in around, I don't know, 2000, maybe, 99, 2000. All the samples on the album intrigued me, and most samples that Jedi Mind continue to use intrigue me. Certainly on the ones that are like, you know, skits, like that Stoops put together, where he's got like a beat that he's made and they put like a talking sample from some film or some random thing. Yeah, they always got me. I always like them. There's not many albums where you like the interludes, but Jedi Mind Tricks are usually interesting. Not really for the content, but for the beats as well. The beats are always good beats. I always think, oh, I'd like to hear some rapping over this one. So there we have it. Books of Blood, The Coming of Tan from Jedi Mind Tricks Psychosocial. This is just a skit from the Psychosocial album. Like I was saying for Book of Blood, or The Coming of Tan, samples, interludes, beats are always pretty cool. Set a precedent. Short one, 25 seconds. I think at least by the second, third, fourth album, they're about a minute long. Yeah. I think if you asked a lot of people who are familiar with Jedi Mind Tricks and their body of work, what is your favourite song from their first album, I think they would maybe tell you either this, The Immaculate Conception, or possibly the last song, which is I Who Have Nothing. I'm not sure maybe they're in my top 5 probably on the album, out of 14 songs, or 13 songs, or maybe 12 songs because there's a skit. Anyway, this song is good. It's immersive. The beat is immersive. The lyrics, yeah, everything comes together nicely on this song. So let's run it. It's just Icon on the song as well. There's no features, which is probably a good thing for this album because a lot of the features just don't hold weight with Icon's rhyming, except for, of course, Apathy. Anyway, let's go. We all know what the Immaculate Conception is, right? Yeah? You don't need it explaining? Okay.
Flesh is a trap.
Flesh is a trap.
That's what he used to say.
That's what he said.
Flesh is a trap. And magic sets us free.
And magic sets us free. Teach us something, Icon. Show us what the verbal hologram is all about.
And men, I condemn them who believe in ancient fallacies and the heresy of thieves. Burn the unholy in your filthy religion. Paganism and the prism of three-dimensional prison. I feel
like the word pagan just basically means anyone who, any religion that, I don't know, preceded some of the big ones. Are Hindus and Sikhs, are they pagans to Christians and Muslims? Yeah, possibly.
Religion, paganism, and the prism of three-dimensional prison. I walk through the liquid of the 7 rivers and deliver rhyme schemes that cut like verbal scissors or arrows. The sacred science of the pharaohs, millennial prophecies of tarots, murder cattle, discover near the crop circles of the land. While we fight wars for political whores like Mary Magdalene, the hologram plants his incision.
I've got a reference to Mary Magdalene. That's pretty close to the Immaculate Conception. I feel like on this album, the song titles are at least somewhat connected to the vibe of the lyrics. That seems to change for a lot of Jedi Mind Trick songs afterwards, where the song titles are just they're just names. They're just names that could mean, well, they mean something completely different. Then you hear the song and you're like, oh, okay, that's not what the title sang to me. But yeah, this album, they do seem pretty coherent.
Of Tibetan black magicians, my composition.
Ooh, Tibetan black magicians.
Apparition of Tibetan black magicians. My composition will turn men into slaves. Holographic aspects of particles and waves. Propel the spacecraft in the Pleiades. Dwell in the abyssal plains like the hordes of Hades. The wheel of infinity.
I mean, even to me back then, rhyming Hades and Pleiades, it's just interesting.
the hordes of Hades, the wheel of infinity, the chamber of the Trinity. Levitate is a fifth level magician of divinity. Like a pentadrone, I sent your dome into the forest of Iblis. Like the wilderness of Pan, the verbal hologram, the verbal hologram.
Yes, the verbal hologram, the verbal hologram.
My perception of poetical injection is ejaculation. The immaculate conception. My perception of poetical injection is ejaculation. The immaculate conception. My perception of...
He's saying my perception of poetical injection is ejaculation. The immaculate conception. I'm pretty sure that's like Son Pharaoh saying that. I can remember. I only think I know that because I don't think it says it on the album. On like, I mean, maybe it does. The Immaculate Conception. No, it doesn't say it. But there was there was a website that had, you know, back in the day, Formula Anomaly, that had all the psychosocial lyrics on. I'm pretty sure it said that it was Son Pharaoh. I might be wrong though. You ready for this dope kicking? Go on, Icon! Let's go!
The decaton, the hierarch Modron, encompass my soul in a beam like proton. I am Voltron, with helmeted head and lotus flower. Incantations, wind walking teleportation. I who dwell in the body that can't be slain. The verbal flame, the atomic spark of pain. So I drain the energy.
Not the best ad-libs there, but I just love it. I dwell in the body that can't be slayed, the verbal flame, the atomics far from pain.
You dwell in the body that can't be slain, the verbal flame, the atomic spark of pain. So I drain the energy from your chakra system. Watch me glisten like the sun, the chosen one, the cyborg relation. My shit is crazy like Freemasons meeting at Camp Crystal Lake with Jason.
That's a pretty corny pop culture reference. Meeting at Camp Crystal Lake with Freemasons, meeting at Camp Crystal Lake with Jason. Why? Why a horror film reference in there?
Freemasons meeting at Camp Crystal Lake with Jason. Complex wind, city of screaming metal. In the Vatican, I shatter him who walks on the plains of hell. The
Sacrifice L, young L, young L.
A dark fall for all who battle the mystic meditation. Face decapitation and material contamination by the spiritual deviation. Translation of ancient civilization. Nonaton, overseer of law and order.
This is just like painting beautiful imagery in my head. The beat, the voice. Oh. I remember my friend back in the day used to say he used to melt into this song and Heavenly Divine, which is on the next Jedi Mind Tricks album, Violent by Design. But yeah, just again, all imagery. It's just nice. It's coherent. Paints a beautiful picture.
By the spiritual deviation, translation of ancient civilization. Nonaton, overseer of law and order. The verbal slaughter, hologram walks in water.
Immune to illusion and scientific blows.
All with black magic, spears and crossbows. Feeble attempts to apprehend the hologram. Overstand, I kill man like Rodan. So no man step into the darkness of the set. Study with Chinese masters like Jesus in Tibet. Staff of Moses, urn of...
Always love that. Was it? No man step into the darkness of the set. Study with Chinese masters like Jesus in Tibet. Staff of Moses, urn of ashes, morphing my soul into solids, liquids, and gases.
And step into the darkness of the set. Study. Stand. I kill man like Rodan. So no man step into the darkness of the set. Study with Chinese masters like Jesus in Tibet.
It's just it's the use of words. So no man step into the darkness of the set. It's like the combination of words makes it kind of mythical, almost mystical. It's cool. That's what the rapper Sinister Stricken does. He uses, like, the way he uses his language is almost, it's like romantic style, or it's, you know, it's just almost, it sounds like intriguing grammar is being used.
Staff of Moses, urn of ashes, morphing my soul into solids, liquids, and gases.
Yep. There you have it. The Immaculate Conception. Barnstormer. This is... It'd be this or I Who Have Nothing if I was to show somebody a track off this album, I think. There it is. The Immaculate Conception. Aye. So, the penultimate track on Jedi Mind Tricks, Psychosocial, Chemical, Biological, and Electromagnetic Manipulation of Human Consciousness is The Apostles' Creed, and it features Apathy and Jan the Phenomenon, who I've never heard of. I don't know if he was down with the Lost Children of Babylon dudes, but he's on here. I can't remember if his verse is any good or not. Apathy's is probably good. And I also remember, I think Icon is a little harder on this track than he is on the other tracks on this album. Kind of still part of the concept of the whole concept album, but he comes a little bit more street. He's not got the voice that he has on the next album, Violent by Design, and then throughout his career, but he's just a little bit harder. So I think is it Vinny first? Is it Icon or Apathy? Let's see. I think it's Apathy. I sit upon a cloud of nuclear waste and haste. Something about orgasmic something. Let's go.
I sit upon a cloud of nuclear waste and taste the orgasmic juice of a goddess with the lips spread on my face as I speak.
That's pretty disgusting. I wouldn't have noticed those lyrics. I'm not going to put back. You can put back yourself and listen to it, but like, yeah. Oh, I don't think I quite took note of that when I was younger.
Piece of a satellite resembling wreckage and remnants of a 2010 cylinder-shaped entity. Centuries from the time of man designed a plan on a time span of seconds to an immortal. Transporting mortals through portals to an Egyptian land. To then erect complex architect structures and pyramids. Melted hardened rock with acidic chemical blood samples from reptilian females, period. I travel like...
Oh, he's going for it. He's going for it on the body. The down there body parts.
The Iliad, but my ship sails on these cosmic whales.
The Iliad. I love a reference to any ancient Greece or ancient Rome. The Iliad's a good one. A bit of Odysseus and Achilles and all those guys fighting, taking on the walls of Troy.
I travel like the Iliad, but my ship sails on these cosmic whales.
Wait, the Iliad. I travel like the Iliad. Is he? I travel like the Iliad. Is he getting mixed up with the Odyssey? Because isn't the Iliad? Well, I suppose they do travel to Troy, and then in the Odyssey, Odysseus is. Anyway.
I travel like the Iliad, but my ship sails amongst cosmic whales and intergalactic pirates, telling tales of trails left by the gods through the center of the sun when you pass the spot.
Jesus Christ was really an ancient astronaut.
Jesus Christ was really an ancient astronaut. I attacked mastodons when I crashed upon Earth in the Ice Age. And twice laid men caves with assistance of sound waves and psychokinetics. You can't escape the wrath of apathetic. The time has come for man to die. When I project prophetic phonetics, fugitive prosthetic limbs for Harry Kimball are rejected. Exoskeleton extensions and cybernetic inventions, moving swiftly like a thundercat.
All of that's cool. The beats kind of, they're all simple beats. I'm definitely going to remake these beats one day and just rap. I'm just going to do all the verses. Not very well.
Harry Kimball are rejected. Exoskeleton extensions and cybernetic inventions, moving swiftly like a thundercat. My hunger tracks rats in the train tracks, and when I rap on tracks, I attract tremendous energy sources, changing forms through metamorphosis. I travel dark in corridors with orbs of light and torches. We ride away in apocalyptic pale horses.
I travel dark in corridors with bulbs of light and torches.
Dark in corridors with orbs of light and tremendous energy sources, changing forms through metamorphosis. I travel dark in
Changing form through metamorphosis. I travel dark in corridors with orbs. Oh, I forgot that word.
Forms through metamorphosis. I travel dark in corridors with orbs of light and torches. We ride away in apocalyptic pale horses and disappear as shadows in the forest and disappear as...
Yeah, that was cool. I change forms through metamorphosis, travel dark in corridors with orbs and something torches. We ride on pale apocalyptic horses. Disappearing shadows in the forest. Disappearing shadows in the forest.
We ride away in apocalyptic pale horses. I travel dark in corridors with orbs of light and torches. We ride away on apocalyptic pale horses and disappear as shadows in the forest. And disappear as shadows in the forest.
I butchered some of that, but you got the idea. I like it. Nice imagery. I should butcher it because Apathy is an exceptional rapper, so. Right, who's versus next? Yams or Icons? I think it's Yams. Penultimate track on the album.
Like sands through the cracks in my hands. Read solitary silhouettes and apocalyptic lands. Nomadic by necessity. And I can't let this stress get the best of me. Though it tempts me on a daily basis. And trace the tracks on my tears down my cheeks and over my lips. Taste the freedom, but it seems like gravity has me chained in this pathetic land like Satan to that burning lake of chaos. But yet I continue on with little tendencies in my subconscious. So right there's a contradiction.
Yeah, Jan, don't worry. We'll get you on the album somewhere, mate.
I'm aware of these tendencies, so that ain't my subconscious anymore. More like forces that I conversate with. Half-thirds of force that I slice my soul into and befriend it. I know you would have recommended, so I wrote this letter and never sent it. Cause my pain is my pain, never trouble you with my own. Now
he wrote her a letter and never sent it, because his pain is his pain. I mean, you know, it's nice to hear a bit of emo rap on the album.
So I wrote this letter and never sent it. Cause my pain is my pain, never trouble you with my own. Now I swim through waves of asphalt with no place to call home. Yeah, on the lonely island and see your plastic smiles is too gibberish. At varying frequencies, whether that be radio or television transmissions, or simply audible voices who wear the cloak of righteousness. Equilibrium is fucked up from data overload, enhanced by the fact that I walk on a narrow road. It's more like a tightrope between wisdom and insanity. Seems like clarity is the ever elusive goal, when insanity has the help of the omnipotent force of gravity.
Non-conceptual, non-exceptional.
Non-conceptual, non-exceptional. Maybe that's some Pharaoh saying that like it was on the Immaculate Conception, although I don't even know if it was him. I remember Vinny Icon kicking in hard on this track, hard for this album anyway. On the battleground, we can go to war like Sudan or Saddam, but I'm half man until you have to overstand that the other half of me is made of liquid and steel. Ain't you sick and tired of rappers screaming keep it real? It was kind of like that sort of lyrics that my brother was saying back in the day, was like more violent by design than psychosocial. I think you're sick and tired of rappers screaming keep it real. Anyway, I'm rapping Icon for you. Let's hear Icon do it better.
Non-exceptional.
On the battleground, you can go to war like Sudan, but I'm half man, and so you have to understand that the other half of me is made of liquid and steel. Ain't you sick and tired of people screaming keep it real? I'm powered by the ancients, spirit in the soul.
It's war.
An Icon carries crossbows, but I toss foes through the center of the planet. When you battle me, you best be praying like a mantis.
I love that. It made me smile. That just imagery. I like war raps as well. You like, I like power. I like to hear power in raps.
It's war, an Icon carries crossbows, but I toss foes through the center of the planet.
When you battle me, you best be praying like a mantis.
I will send you
through the depths of the Atlantis. Oh, the Atlantic.
Of rhymes by the enchanted
hologram.
The verbal war paradigm, traveling back in time to change the way your whack rappers rhyme. If I don't succeed, you will bleed. The just punishment of the Apostles' Creed. This is hip hop, kid. Shit is straight from the heart. Use an actor with a record deal, trying to play the part like that.
Yeah,
like that.
I say there's more references like that bring you out.
Stoop in the house like that one time, like that one time. My man Chico in the house like that one time, like
that's like Icon's early form of braggadocious rap.
In the house like that one time, one time. Icon, the verbal hologram, up in this motherfucker. Open up that third eye before I open it for you. Word is born, Jedi mind, 97, 98. Rappers, I decapitate like that. Fuck all y'all.
Yeah, he's a little, it's he's a little bit more angry. He's getting angry. This is the penultimate song on the Psychosocial. There's one more song officially on the official album. There are bonus songs that I probably won't listen to in this run of reactions. Maybe one day. I really want to listen to the bonus songs just to listen out for Jussalar. I think he is on one of the bonus songs, but under a different name. And I don't think I ever realised that back in, I don't know, 2003, when the album got re-released by Baby Grand. But yeah, this is the penultimate track, and he's getting angry. We're about to hear one more song, which is I Who Have Nothing, the last song on the Psychosocial, where he's a little bit softer. But the anger's here. It's here in the Apostles' Creed. And he just gives us one last taste before he says goodbye to this soft voice icon, the verbal hologram. But I do love the name Icon, the verbal hologram. I'd like him to bring Icon back. You're gonna make me bring the hologramic verses back. Yes, that's what I would like. That's off. I don't know what that's off. It's off another Jedi Matrix album. 20 years after this album. So yeah, there it is, the Apostles' Creed. All right, this is track 12. From Jedi Mind Trick, Psychosocial, Chemical, Biological, and Electromagnetic Manipulation of Human Consciousness. The very last song. I Who Have Nothing. There is a music video for this. Should I put the music video version on? And then we get to see young Icon. Who Have Nothing. Here it is, the official video. From this album, yeah, if I was to show somebody a song from this album, this would probably be it. This song. It's got a lot of feeling. It's not, I suppose it's kind of a doorway in to it, because it's not half as esoteric as some of the other songs, but it still works to cap all of that off. It's kind of it could be emotional. It's very interpretable, I think, this song, but you definitely have references to all the kind of things that keep you in a kind of spiritual, vivid, esoteric, potentially mindset, or this tapestry that I've probably spoken about on every Jedi Mind Trick Psychosocial song I've spoke about. So here it is, the video. The Philly streets.
Intersections in real time, the unbroken circle and dimensions of the mind, the tie that binds, the eternal tie that defines the vanity of my insanity. In due time will shine like the night seas under the moon, the haunted corners of familiar rooms, yet I'm consumed.
The haunted corners of familiar rooms. Yeah, it's poetic.
We're vanishing into thin air, the realization that this shit is my cross to bear.
But I'm consumed of vanishing into thin air, the realization that the shit is my cross to bear. What's this he's watching on telly? So where
did I think I could run away to see the people that decided to leave without asking me? But we decide to wait for happier tomorrows and
I spoke about it on another song. It's the language and the way his grammar, the way he's using these words. They're not even like super complex words or anything. It draws you in. It's like it's like rap being novelized.
We decide to wait for happier tomorrows and find someone so they can be distractions from our sorrow. But my distractions.
So we decide to wait for happier tomorrows to find someone so they can be distractions from our sorrows. It's just profound and it's meaningful.
Find someone so they can be distractions from our sorrow. But my distractions, the books of paper that I scrawl in. I'm eloquent as summer breeze and leaves that have just fallen. I've crawled in a corner hoping all of this will end
with the knowledge that love is just another word for revenge. Again, it's philosophical, if not, maybe not profound, with the knowledge that love is just another word for revenge. I mean, that's not true, is it? Not to get onto semantics and stuff, but what do you? It's not true that it's another word. It's not synonymous with love and revenge. But why are you saying it? You know, we can hear you're a coherent, intellectual guy, so there's some deeper meaning to why you're saying it. What's happened, my friend? Have you been scarred? Was it was it your former chick, the Christian chick? I can't remember what song that is. Anyway.
All of this will end with the knowledge that love is just another word for revenge. I who have nothing but the comfort of my sins. I who have nothing but the comfort of my friends.
I'm glad you have friends. You're watching this over and over. Oh, look at your earrings, man. Look at your baby face. And the earrings. No matter what I ever say about Icon, aka Vinny, if I ever joke or say anything, he's probably consistently my favourite for so many reasons. Rappers, he's not who I consider the best or anything, but he's up there. I mean, he's an absolute legend. He's an amazing rapper. He got better at rapping in time, as you'll see, because I'm sure I'll cover some of his other songs. He is a better rapper, like 20 years later, in terms of his lyrical ability. He's got such a cool library, catalogue, collection of different songs and stuff. He is amazing. I put him in, me personally, he's a personal top 10 for me. An objective, probably, if I was being objectively about rappers, I'd definitely put him in a top 50. I'd have to put him in a top 50, like for a kind of influence in the waves that Jedi Mind Tricks have had. Not just his ability and everything, but yeah. Anyway, right. So I'm just saying that as a disclaimer if I ever make jokes about him, because there's definitely like I've touched on it, like corny lines. That's what does happen a lot. But like I used to hate the corny lines, but now I just feel it's part of him, and it's part of his charm actually as an artist. So yeah, let's go. Come on.
As I decay, demons prey above me like a vulture. Ability to endure contradiction is a high sign of culture. Verbal sculpture, self-defacing. It is not God.
I want to know who these dudes are. Was it really necessary to have it in a bag when you're on a rooftop? Wait, we need to listen to the lyrics.
Demons prey above me like a vulture. Ability to endure contradiction is a high sign of culture.
Ability to endure contradiction is a high sign of culture. Ability to endure contradiction. I don't quite understand that. Let's.
As I decay, demons prey above me like a vulture. Ability to endure contradiction is a high sign of culture.
Ability to endure contradiction is a high sign of culture. I don't really know what he's saying there, but if I'm to tap into it, to endure contradiction, I mean, personally, on a personal level, I can endure contradiction. Like hypocrisy, I live as a hypocrite. I recognise, I suppose it's like recognising that there's hyper nuance to situations that make decisions and X, Y, Z different in different scenarios, but it comes across as contradiction or hypocrisy in many circumstances. But there's usually some highly nuanced area, or it's emotional choices. So like you gotta have a certain standard for family that you're not gonna have for others. So ability to endure contradiction is a high sign of culture, like personal culture, being cultured, or of culture as as a whole, because it's not a sign of culture. It's just culture. Anyway, right, okay. Analysed, boom.
Is a high sign of culture, verbal sculpture, self-defacing. It is not God or lunacy that I am facing, but the erasing of the purity and passion of my words. The herds of cattle Babylon would talk of the absurd, but I prefer.
it's just beautiful, like the herds of cattle babble on and talk of the absurd. It's beautiful because I don't know what the hell he's talking about, that's why.
Of my words, the herds of cattle Babylon would talk of the absurd, but I prefer to walk away from all the feuds, to find my life is more confusing than a Rubik's Cube.
Look at that for a shot. It's a shame it won't go better quality. Maybe one day I'll actually sit and research these songs. I suppose you can just go on Rap Genius, can't you, and have a look at what they think it means, I suppose, but kind of takes the fun out of it. But I suppose you can go on there as a starting point and then look a little deeper into the herds of Babylon, etc.
So I'm subdued, and all my words are verbal prods. To live alone, one must be an animal or a god, but it's official.
Always found that line profound. That one stood out to me when I was younger. To live alone, one must be an animal or a god. I remember thinking, well, not all animals live alone, but, you know, I get it. It's profound.
Words are verbal prods. To live alone, one must be an animal or a god.
And all the gods from mythology, I don't think they all live alone. I mean, heaven has surely got people in it, you know? Come on, Icon.
But it's official, although my pain is clear as crystal. The natural side of life has now been seeming artificial. But I can hit you, and rest assured that I'm my last.
What's this guy doing? He's ruining the spiritualityness of it, the personal spiritualityness of it.
Natural side of life has now been seeming artificial. But I can hit you, and rest assured that not my last words. I can give a fuck about your secrets and your passwords. I can passwords and their ability to hurt you. Patience is a virtue and knowledge is a commercial.
That always sounded somewhat profound, but thinking about patience is a virtue and knowledge is a commercial. Patience is a virtue and knowledge is a commercial. I'm not quite sure what the knowledge is a commercial means, but it sounds cool.
Their ability to hurt you. Patience is a virtue and knowledge is a commercial. I who have nothing but the pain that I've referred to. I who have nothing but the pain that I've referred to.
I get past words and their ability to hurt you. That's just, again, it's that grammar, like the cool grammar, the cool use of words and the combo of words. It pulls me in because it helps create a picture.
Lost among the miracles, I stand alone and have grown into a being that's sitting on top of throne. I've known for many years that I would turn to rust. I find a reason for another breath before my return to dust. I become
always like that. It gives enough time for a breath. One more breath.
I stand alone and have grown into a being that's sitting on top of throne. I've known for many years that I would turn to rust. I find a reason for another breath before my return to dust. I become one with science and mathematics and the rising of the sun. I'm numb to all of those who blinded. I return to dust. I become one with science and mathematics and the rising of the sun. I'm numb to all of those who blinded cannot see the chastiser of the enemy. Perception requires duality. Inspect your soul, the color of coal inside the body. I have hardly come across them who's holy. Send them to the cherubim to control the burning of the sun and frigidness of the cold.
I mean, this guy doing this in '97, it was just dope and different. Like, it's just so good, this song. It really is good, and all is rapping. I mean, I could just imagine being a rapper ensconced in what was mainly gangster rap. I think I suppose you had like a bit of pop rap, but a lot of pop or like positive rap had probably died out of the mainstream. And I know there was everything was there in the kind of independent scene still and stuff like that, but it would have just been nice, you know. All you're hearing is gangster rap and stuff, and then you hear this track.
Coal inside the body, I have hardly come across them who's holy. Send them to the cherubim to control the burning of the sun and frigidness of the cold. The battlefield is new, but the war is now old. You can never see the merest shadow of a halo
above the head of evil gins deadly like tornado.
The world has become an aquarium full of gaping fish with murderous smiles. I, on the other hand, stand on the outside looking in, writing down murderous files. I who have nothing but the lack of variation, and I who have nothing but chains and suffocation.
I'm sure there's probably a better quality version of this, and obviously you know, low budget. They were just some dudes, just some teenagers. So it is really a good video. It's cool. It's interesting seeing like Vinny early days. He's not really got his movements. I've seen like early shows of theirs where, you know, he's not quite got his movements down yet, but it's cool to kind of watch that evolution. But even from those early shows, though, they're still banging. They're still absolutely rocking. Jedi Mind put on one of the best shows, so Vinny puts on one of the best shows. He just does banging verse after verse, and he is live. He's hype. He's great. Helps that he's got so many banging beats behind him with The Enemy of Mankind. But yeah, like, I might even say that Vinny is my favourite person to see live. I think I've seen Jedi Mind Tricks about 4 times, or seen him about 4 times, and every time he is amazing. Oh, we definitely don't need that. So yeah, there it is. I Who Have Nothing. So yeah, that's the last track on Jedi Mind Tricks, the psychosocial, chemical, biological, and electromagnetic manipulation of human consciousness. Wikipedia says it's the debut album of the underground hip-hop group Jedi Mind Tricks, consisting of rapper Vinny Paz, then known as Icon the Verbal Hologram, and producer Snoop the Enemy of Mankind. So yeah, the whole album, it's got a bit of a list of samples here, so... Ooh, it did in the beginning, yeah. Oh yeah, I got that one, 7. Master Killer's verse. Hellraiser, yeah, I got that one. Black Thought, Malik Bay. Wow. 3 Immortals features a sample from... wow. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. It's not just a root song then. I suppose it's featuring those guys. Dr. Octagon. Yeah, Cool Keith. Did I guess any of these others when I listened to the song? I don't think I did. Don't want to ruin it. Anyway, so yeah, as an album, it's one of my favourite, most influential albums on myself. Now, I'd probably say it's my favourite Jedi Mind album, but it's not the one I think is the best. There's other ones that I'd rather listen to and just bang out. Probably even Violent by Design. Maybe even most of the others, except for a few of the later ones and like a couple of Vinny's releases. But anyway, as an album, for me, a personal scoring, if I had to score it out of 10, a personal scoring, I would probably score it... Do I score it with time and place and nostalgia and all of that in mind? If I did that, it'd be a 9, I suppose. So let's go with a safe 8.5. I think objectively as an album, time and place, it's super unique, and that does count in 97. Icon's verses are dope, but some of the other verses just aren't dope, and some of the beats you might judge as being a bit monotonous. I don't so much care about the quality for a first album in 97 as an underground hip-hop album. Quality is all cool. Maybe some of the ad-libs and stuff on the album could have been a little bit tighter. Objectively, what do I think? The senseless masses might vote. What do they know? They don't know it's an 8.5. I don't know. Maybe a 6.5. That's my unfortunate objective rating. But for me, it's an 8.5, no doubt. Psychosocial, chemical, biological, and electromagnetic manipulation of human consciousness. I might go back and listen to the bonus songs one day. I'm almost certainly going to go and listen to the original version of Never Antiquated. I might even listen to the Amber Probe. Although, it's Never Antiquated on there. That which is one of the bonus songs, I think, on the other one, and that's it really. So there's only, yeah, I'll just listen to Never Antiquated, the original, one day. There it is. Oh look, the common EP thread, the common thread EP as Soulcraft. I wonder if we've not heard any of those songs. I mean, I'm sure they're whack, but I mean, that's going off not the Amber Pro, but going off some of these bonus songs. Oh yeah, look, that's the one with features Black Thought. No way. That's the one with Just Solar. There we go. I know which one it is. Get This Low. Right, anyway, that's rounding it up for the psychosocial, chemical, biological, and electromagnetic manipulation of human consciousness. Yeah, get listening to it. Goodbye.